And in this section, you can find additional conditions required by the LC application bank. And some of them has nothing to do with you, but only bank-to-bank regulation and requirement. But some of them is very important. Let's look at it one by one. All documents must quote issuing bank's name, letter of credit number, and date of issue. So this is quite normal requirement from the LC application bank, but you have to understand some of the documents, especially those documents issued by the third party, such like bill of lading, shipping certificate, or meal test certificate, they may not carry whatever requested by the bank. The most commonly requested reference number is letter of credit number. Normally, if you ask CCPIT to issue CO, certificate of origin, and carrying a letter of credit number, that's okay. Bill of lading, shipment company, they will include this letter of credit number, that's fine. But some of the documents, meal test certificate, as could be really hard. And certificate of shipping company, such like this one. Certificate from shipping company. Maybe they will not allow you to cover whatever reference you want. And also insurance, if this is a CIF price term, LC, an insurance company may not cover LC reference number as you want. So this is something you need to check in advance. Number 2, all documents must be issued in English language. This is also a very common additional condition under 47A, but there are some documents pre-printed other language. For example, you have a bill of lading issued from a Chinese shipping company, and you can find some Chinese wording printed there. Or you have a certificate of origin issued by CCPIT. They have their own format, and you can find Chinese wording. So it's better you mention like that, except for those pre-printed or stamp. If you mention this too, because some stamp including other language like Chinese language. So except for those pre-printed format or stamp, then this term should be fine to accept. Number 3, in the event shipment is effected in containers, bill of lading must evidence the same and must also show the container number and seal number. Okay, must show container number, seal number. This is quite normal. Every container, they have a number, they have a container number. Also, they have a seal number. When the container yard staff seal the door, they will put a number over there. So this is quite normal, but how do you evidence the same? By evidencing the same, that depends on how do you understand this. For my understanding, as long as I show the container number, that is evidence of shipment is effected in container, right? But some banks may have different understanding. Banks may have different perspective. So if they're really looking out for discrepancy, this is something definitely they can use. That's why we ask our client to delete evidence the same, because this is a potential point causing discrepancy. Number 4, if possible, invoice to indicate harmonized system commodity code number HS code. Okay, this one is easy. The Department of Ports and Customs, UAE wants supply. Oh, this is the this is only a warning or instruction. It's not mandatory because here mentioned if possible, so you don't have to pay attention to this term. But anyway, and every one of us will carry HS code in invoice. Okay, number 5. This is a bank's mandatory term. There's no way they can cancel this because the bank will not accept any bill of lading will not accept house bill of lading because the cargo belongs to the bank. So if the buyer can clear the cargo without even surrendering, surrendering here means presenting, surrendering the original document to the port, then it's going to be a big problem for the bank. The bank didn't get paid yet. Then somebody cleared the cargo and take the cargo away. Actually, there's one way we can do that, which is called house bill of lading. Who issued the house bill of lading? It's not the shipping company. Shipping company issue only one set original bill of lading, and they will not issue the second one because bill of lading is the only proof to clear the cargo. Bill of lading is the legal document to clear the cargo. Anyone take the bill of lading can clear the cargo. Oh no, you cannot say anyone, but because the bill of lading is to the order of a particular bank, and only after bank endorse the bill of lading and pass it to somebody else, such like notified party, such like buyer, then the buyer can clear the cargo. But without original bill of lading, if the buyer clear the cargo without original bill of lading, then it's going to be a big problem for the bank. And house bill of lading, this is something issued not by the shipping company, but issued by the cargo forwarder from China. We have a cargo forwarder, those cargo agent, they will issue their own bill of lading and look like exactly same with the original bill of lading issued by the shipping company. Why there's a house bill of lading? Sometimes we use house bill of lading to avoid risks. For example, we have a LC and we see 2 or 3 points possible to cause discrepancy. Then we don't want to submit the original bill of lading from the shipping company. So we submit the house bill of lading. The house bill of lading looks like exactly same with the original bill of lading, but the bank cannot find it if it is authentic or if it is just issued by somebody else rather than a shipping company. So in this way, we can still get paid. The bank will check the documents and find everything's fine, so they will release the payment. And after that, when the client receives the house bill of lading, they present to the shipping company, and the shipping company will tell them, sorry, this is not the authentic bill of lading, and therefore we cannot release the DO. DO is a delivery order. Once the buyer received the original bill of lading, they surrender it to the local agent of shipping company, and the shipping company will release the documents called DO, delivery order. And with delivery order, the buyer can clear the cargo from the port. So house bill of lading, this is something we can actually I should not explain this to you because some of the seller will use house bill of lading to do fraud. They can get paid and do not release the cargo. So this is definitely in a seller's advantage, but not in favor to the buyer. Okay, number 6, Emirates NBD Bank will not accept or negotiate any documents or handle any transactions that are in breach of any applicable law or regulatory sanctions internationally recognized. Okay, this one we need to pay special attention because myself, I have suffered from such a case. I suffered from it and I lost around 80,000 dirham, which is 150,000 Chinese yuan due to this. This one is mainly about sanctions. There are some countries are sanctioned by USA. So since we are using US dollar as currency, then any sanctioned country, we cannot get involved with this LC. What is the problem? The problem is sometimes you may find a vessel with a flag of those sanctioned country, like Iranian, like Libya, or like North Korea. Even though you find a vessel with a proper national flag from Hong Kong or from Panama, but this vessel ever called Iranian ports within past six months, the bank will find it out and the bank will reject the whole set documents. Can you imagine how big trouble it is? You already shipped the material reached destination port, and because this vessel ever called Iranian port, Bandar Abbas, and that was 5 months ago, you don't know that, but your bank somehow found it. So the bank said, okay, this vessel is related with the sanctioned country Iran. Therefore, we reject to process the documents. So once you submit the documents to the LC application bank, the LC application bank rejected the documents and returned to beneficiaries' advising bank. Then there's no way you can get paid. And the cargo already reached at destination port. Every day you need to pay penalty, you need to pay the local storage charge to the destination port authority. You can imagine how big trouble it is. And my client also suffered because they cannot clear the cargo. Of course, they didn't pay. They can get the money back from the LC application bank. Therefore, my client just take this as an excuse and force me to reduce price. Then we have no choice but accept it. Then client pay us by cash instead of LC payment. So when you have this, no matter you have this term or not, you need to make sure finding a proper vessel, nothing to do with the sanctioned country or even ever visited sanctioned country. Okay, number 7, commercial invoice and packing list must bear beneficiary's signature and company seal. This is a normal condition. However, there are lots of LC will require all the documents bear manual signature. If they ask you to bear manual signature, you're going to pay attention on it because not every document will show manual signature. Especially those documents from shipping company. Shipping company issue so many bill of lading. You can imagine them send somebody to sign every each of paper. No way. Their signature is normally digital signature. Digital signature is not manually signed. And even some documents like last time we have one set documents present to the LC application bank, and we get one discrepancy, only one, and the discrepancy shows the commercial invoice is not signed manually, but actually it is signed by the authorized person, but it doesn't look like a manually signed. So the bank just believe this is not a manually signed invoice, and therefore there's a discrepancy. What can you do? So it's better delete manual signed. Shipment through Hanjin shipping line. Vessels are not permitted. Nothing to do with you. Just pay attention. Do not charter vessel from Hanjin. Then you're fine. Shipping marks so-and-so to be stated in packing list and bill of lading. This is okay to accept. Easy to control. Those documents except draft and invoice which are issuable by the beneficiary if issuable. Beneficiary if issued by a party other than the beneficiary is acceptable. Bill of lading and certificate of origin showing shipper or exporter or consignor a party other than the beneficiary is acceptable. So this term actually give you more choices to those whom are authorized to issue the documents. So this one totally have no problem. Tolerance of plus or minus 20% is allowed in quantity and amount. Okay, this is simply a repeating for the condition earlier mentioned on the page 1. Number 12, presentation period. Yeah, on the page 1 we have calculate latest date of a shipment minus the expiry date. Then we got to know it should be 21 days from shipment date, but with the validity of this credit. That means you have to present documents within 21 days from the bill of lading date. You have to present your documents to the to your advising bank, because this LC expiry place is Hong Kong. Okay, number 13, typing errors which are not affecting LC currency, credit validity, the value, quantity, and shipment date are acceptable. This is very important. If you cannot find this term in the LC, insist your client to put it on. Otherwise, any wrong spelling, even missing a dot, missing a comma, will be understood as a discrepancy. Number 14, beneficiary must certify on the invoice that goods and all other. You don't even have to read all this, because beneficiary certify the invoice issued by the beneficiary. So whatever they ask you to do, you just do the same, copy exactly same wording. That's it. That is how you make the documents. So from the sales manager perspective, there's no risk for this point. Okay, next is directions to advising and accepting bank. This is something between bank to bank. It's normally have nothing to do with you. So as a sales manager, you don't have to care about this part. Only documents follow-up team, maybe they look at it. I'm not even sure my documents follow-up team will look at this part. Here, I want to explain to you this. Once there's a discrepancy handled, checked and found by the LC application bank, they're going to charge you $100 for it. $100 each discrepancy. If you have 3 discrepancies, they are going to charge you $300. And of course, provided all these discrepancies are accepted by the LC applicant. Here is mentioning how they're going to process the document. So even the bank found discrepancies, no worries. The most important is you will make sure your client wants the cargo. If your client wants the goods, want the cargo, they will accept the discrepancies anyway. Okay, the charge, 71D, the charge. All the banking charge outside issuing bank, including reimbursement charge, are on beneficiary account. Quite standard condition. That means anything outside of destination country to be paid by the seller. Here, confirmation instruction. Confirmation means your bank, once this LC confirmed by your bank can pay you first. Then your bank will take the risk of non-payment from the LC application bank. Normally it's not required. You have 3 options. Without, that means confirmation is not required. May add, that means confirmation required or not at your, which is beneficiary's option. You want to add it? Okay, you can add it. If you don't want to add it, okay, leave it. And here, confirm. That means this is a confirmed LC, and you are going to pay extra charge to LC advising bank. However, LC advising bank will, after they check the documents, before they even submit the documents to LC application bank, they're going to pay you immediately without waiting. So once this is a confirmed LC, you will get paid really quick. If this is a without confirmation LC, the LC advising bank will check the documents, but they will not pay you. They will present the documents to the LC application bank, and they will wait for LC application bank to check the documents again. And after that, LC application bank send a bank-to-bank SWIFT message saying, okay, we checked the documents and we found no discrepancy, therefore we are going to perform the payment within 7 working days. Then after 7 working days, after 9 days, 9 calendar days, or even 10 calendar days, you wait for your payment, and sometimes the payment reach your bank account after 20 days. That's possible. Okay, 57D, advising through. Advising bank is your bank, is seller's bank, okay? Seller choose advising bank. See here, advising bank is ICICI HK, which is ICICI Bank. It is an Indian bank, but Hong Kong branch. This is our bank. We choose to use this bank. But advising through can be your advising bank, can be a third-party bank, a third bank. Sometimes, if they choose not to advise this LC through your advising bank, then they will choose famous American banks, such like Citibank or Mellon Bank. So in that case, the LC will reach your bank, your advising bank, really late. That depends on the LC application bank and LC advising bank, between the relationship between these two. If LC application bank enjoy direct working relationship with the LC advising bank, then normally this LC will send by a SWIFT. And once the LC issued in the morning, in the afternoon, the LC advising bank will call you, will call the seller, we receive the LC on your behalf, on your account. Within 1 day, you will receive the LC. But if this LC is advised through a third party, a third bank from American, then this is going to take quite a long time. Sometimes it's going to take 3 days, or sometimes even take 7 days, because that's subject to LC advising banks, the working attitude, and also subject to their working hours. And if they don't have direct working relationship, they will not send bank-to-bank SWIFT message, but they're going to send original LC paper by DHL. You can imagine that's going to take a long time. Okay, that's all for LC risk and control. And why I explain all this in English, because once you understand all this, you are able to discuss with your client in English one by one, especially when you ask LC amendment. You need to know exact wording. You need to organize your language and talk and discuss with your client. So today I've already given you a very good example. So you just copy my language and talk to your clients. And next lesson, I'm going to talk about how to manage and control the risk in terms of signing the contract. Okay, I see you there. Thank you. Bye-bye.